Hi everyone, I've promised a video about how to make Crackle and this is it. So in my last video I showed you also how I made my art journal page, but I also showed you what I've done with the leftover of the gesso and the powder from the textile dye. And this was one of the pages I've showed you, and I still had left more powder, so don't ask me why. This time I started smearing it on this kind of boring 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, but this time I mixed it up with white glue, and I really like what came out of it. So I kept going. One of the results was this, and I haven't planned on it, and it's the second time that it happened, and so I figured out what I'm doing and how it just had cracks, all this, and I didn't use a heat tool and nothing. It just happened without me doing anything. So I wanted to see if I can make this effect again and to share with you how to make this crackle show up. So I did my experimenting, and I will share with you, and I will also do on camera one like this. So what I did get is, first of all, when you need white glue, regular white glue, no diluting it, no nothing. I'm gonna take paper. This is a leftover from scrapbook paper, plain, nothing to it, and you need to generally smear glue on it. Now there's two ways to going about it. If you want it subtle, you only use the glue and an acrylic paint. If you want something more pronounced like these two, you need to use gesso, and I'm going to show you. Now another thing is, if the more glue you put on the paper, the more breaking you will have on your paper. This is a nice coat of glue. This is a lot of glue, and it takes a lot of time to dry, but it's more there are more breaks and more texture to this page. So I'm going to put down glue on this paper like so, and now I'm going to show you only with acrylics on this side of the paper, and it will take a little bit more time to show than if I'm using gesso, but I want you to see the difference and how it comes to be. So I've got a nice coat of glue. Now I'm picking up an acrylic paint, and I usually go for something very light, because I want the darker color from underneath to show through. So let's see, this time I'm gonna take this acrylic paint, Spa Blue Deco Art, and again generously putting the paint, and just, I'm not pushing it down, I'm just smearing it on top of the glue like so. And it will just start to break. Don't know why, I'm not a chemist. Don't have a clue why it does it, but it does. And now I'm going to show you on the other side how it goes with gesso. So let's see. I will put some gesso here. And I'm putting it here because I want to add a little color to it. The same color, just so you will see the difference, how it reacts with the glue. So I'm adding the same color here to my gesso. And let it blend. Of course it won't be the same shade as this because the gesso is white, so it's gonna be a lighter color. But if I want to add a little bit more, I can add from a darker shade of blue. Here we go, like this is tropical blue, the quartz. Never mind. The shade of the color is not that important. Okay, so I've got this, and again I need to put a nice coat of glue, and I hope you can see it's already starting to break here without me doing anything to it, all live on camera. So here we go, nice coat of glue. Well, ignore I just strayed a little to the right and went into the paint. You look at this side. Okay, so I have the nice coat of glue, and now I'm going to put in again gesso on top, and again I'm just dragging it on top. I'm not pushing it down. You don't have to do this kind of brush strokes, you can vary it. It doesn't matter, it will be more interesting. Here we go. I don't know if you can see, but it already starting to break here. And I still got left a lot of again a lot of gesso and paint. I will have to smear it somewhere. Nothing is going to waste here. So I'm going to bring it close to the camera. Of course it's really wet. It will take some time to dry, but it already is breaking into crackle. I hope you can see it. Here you go. So I'm moving this aside because I want to show you another nice trick until this is dry. And I've got these pieces that I've already made, and of course I'm going to my paper napkins because I want to show you something neat. And one of the tricks is taking a napkin with some kind of bland background, like white or something like that, and gluing it to this kind, one of these pieces, and here it's not really pronounced because the two grains, the one in the background and the one on top, is not really showing. So I'll do it here and I hope it will work. Most of the time this works for me. Let's hope it also works now. I'm gonna cut it roughly to size just so I will have an easier time gluing it down now. What I like about this is that once it's finished, it looks like really old wood that something was painted on it and it got crackles on it with the design, like, how do you call it, shabby chic, I think. Basically it looks like distressed wood. So here we go, putting down glue all over, and now the napkin. Now from the inside, outside, soft brush, use the flat of the brush and just go easily. You don't want to tear your napkin. Now it's wet, so it's hard to see the end result, the effect of this kind of thing, but I'll show you how it looks when it's dry, of course. So here it is, gently moving it aside. I'm gonna show you, it's still making more cracks, and it's still wet, and I'm moving it aside again. So let's show you another piece, and let's try this one. And again, this background is kind of bland, so it should go nicely here. Let's take a wider brush so I won't sit here all day putting glue. Even if I didn't glue down a napkin, I would go over all this with another coat of glue just to seal everything, so I won't have flakes of this peeling out from the paper. Not that I've seen it peel, but just to be on the safe side, I would do it to seal everything. So here we go. Paper napkin. Oopsie. And again, from the inside, outside, gently. So this is it. Now I need for everything to dry, and then I'll come back so you can see the results. Here we go. I'll be back. I'm back. So to recap, this is what we tried on camera, and it's a generous amount of glue, and then here was the acrylic, here was gesso with a little bit of acrylic. I personally prefer this one because there are more breaks in all directions, and only the acrylic is mostly vertical. Don't know why, but that's how it turned out. So that's one. Now I want to show you the ones I've made with the napkin. Here is one, and as I said, it gives a look of distressed wood with some kind of pattern on it, and I really like this stuff. I've made another one, and I turned it into a greeting card. Here it is. As you can see, the breaks underneath the napkin. I think it quite adds a texture to and interest to this image. And I've tried another one, but as I said, here the background wasn't bland, so you can only see the breaks and the crackle in these areas, so this is less pronounced. And because I had more gesso left, I put it on another piece of scrapbook paper here, and here I've put a less generous amount of glue, so the cracks are more refined. And I've put here a napkin just so you can see. Here is without a napkin, and here is after I glued the napkin. I really like this outcome, and I'm going to use it in the future quite a lot. And another finished product, here we go. I've done it on a tag. I hope you can see the fine cracks underneath. It kind of looks aged, and I've inked around the edges, so it's quite nice. And here is another one that didn't turn out so well because the cracks were very big. There are large areas, dark areas on the background, but still it's quite nice, and it adds more than just gluing a piece of a napkin. So this is what I've done. These are the cracks. Bear in mind that even that I used white glue, each brand will be in a different consistency, and you just need to try. And if it doesn't work for you in the first try something else. Change paper, change the consistency of the glue, try more gesso or less gesso until you get the result that you want. So I hope you will try this. I hope it gave you some ideas to play with. So this is it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.